Hi, my name is Nicole Mickelson, and I'm going to talk about sodium phosphate loading today. Sodium phosphate loading has been reported to increase aerobic capacity, increase peak power output, increase anaerobic threshold, and improved myocardial and cardiovascular responses to exercise. A study that I researched reported that sodium phosphate loading increases VO2 max ranging between 5 and 12%. And improvements in endurance time trial performance have been reported following 3 to 6 days of loading. This raises the possibility that sodium phosphate may influence intracellular phosphate levels and endurance in exercise. Some studies have reported that VO2 max enhancement can be achieved through sodium phosphate loading. One of the studies that I have looked into proposed that sodium phosphate loading increases the concentration of 2,3-diphosphoglycerate precursors, also known as 2,3-DPG. This results in greater 2,3-DPG, and the 2,3-DPG binds to hemoglobin and reduces the affinity of oxygen with hemoglobin. Thus, the increased 2,3-DPG allows for a greater unloading of oxygen to the peripheral tissues. VO2 enhancement can be achieved through oxygen being released at the peripheral tissues. So increased 2,3-DPG can enable athletes to exercise at a longer rate because of the enhanced oxygen supply. Another physiological effect would be myocardial efficiency. It is reported that myocardial efficiency would be enhanced, and it relates to how effectively the heart can pump blood, and this would benefit endurance athletes by increasing stroke volume and enhancing cardiac output during exercise, and this is because of a result of more O2 to the muscles. The explanation for this is due to hypophosphatemia, which is a high concentration of organic phosphates in the blood. This may increase cardiac cell concentration, also known as ATP, which could cause an increase to the heart contractibility, therefore improving myocardial efficiency. Side effects for sodium phosphate loading can include gastrointestinal issues, for example, diarrhea and constipation. Some reports have reported vomiting and nausea, however, they've only been reported in a small amount of studies. These side effects can be minimized by dissolving the sodium phosphate capsules in a liquid solution before ingesting, rather than having individuals ingest it in concentrated capsule form. The recommended dosage for sodium phosphate is 3 to 5 grams per day for a period of 3 to 6 days. It's also suggested to take 1 gram 4 times a day to reduce the side effects, to reduce any gastrointestinal side effects. All the research that I have read through suggests that sodium phosphate loading is more beneficial towards endurance athletes rather than power athletes. One of the studies reported that during a 40-kilometer cycling time trial, participants supplemented with sodium phosphate. The participants that had the sodium phosphate exercised at 86% of their VO2 max, compared to an 80% VO2 max associated with a placebo trial. Another study demonstrated that during a graded maximal exercise test, the anaerobic threshold occurred at a significantly higher workload after phosphate supplementation compared with the baseline performance. What I gathered from all the information is that definitely power or short spurts of bouts of exercise that athletes have to do really won't benefit from sodium phosphate loading. It's more so athletes that are involved in endurance activities. Also, it may not be worth it for some athletes depending on how well trained they are, and also the gastrointestinal issues may be a problem if participants are going to do an event and they try sodium phosphate for the first time and they have gastrointestinal issues that may not be good for whatever competition they're in. So overall, it's more like a trial and error thing, and it's kind of goes along with the same criteria for sodium bicarb. Thank you for watching this video.